Welcome everybody to the topic check sheets. Essentially, occupational safety and hazard analysis. What are the basic check sheet that one needs to run so that our work area is not so accident prone, or should I say, it's an accident free zone if you are looking to it. So let visit a very short presentation that goes around it. Remember, we have got a host of activities that needs to be taken care of. This is the activities that needs to be covered around work balancing, automation, process mapping. You name it, we have it. So many activities. We have PEST, which is approximately political, economical, sociological, technological. We have PERT or program evaluation review technique and critical path method. So we have so many things which can come about analysis of variances or hypothesis. But what is most important is this term that we are looking into it. Check sheets. Absolutely, this will enable us be on the safer side that our work area is not very accident prone. Our workers are healthy and safe and working in a perfectly coordinated fashion. So what is it all about? Managing risk. So let us understand what is check sheets. It basically is the collection of data, and remember, these are all manual collection of various data sets that has been generated at different point of view of the organization, of our production sheets, of the shop floor that we are looking into it. What do? We collect data as on when on basis, at actual real time basis. This is can be used during the project work. So data collection enters wherever marks are required. We need to point out where things are not going right. Let's say these are the points, these are the events that things are going perfectly in tune, but this is a question mark which is not been done. So we have a check sheets which enables us to maintain what are the things that has to be looked into and what are the things which have been overlooked as such. So basically these characteristics should be measured on a continual basis, on a regular fashion. Failure to collect such information might lead to inconsequential events altogether, and that is very detrimental to overall to the productivity of the organization. So let us have the habit of having a check sheets, going for a check and balances and finding out the faults either on the individual or on the equipment or on the environment or probably on the process, the way you want to go around it. So what are the benefits? It becomes easy and reliable because we will not be overlooking any of these steps in collecting of the data, the required data. It is very easy, very systematic, very definitive as far as the reading of the data are concerned, the process that we go about it. Recording is done on a seamless and on a consistent fashion. So the moment you are going through a check sheet analysis, you will come to know what has been done and what has been not been looked into. So essentially captures vital statistics, vital data about the performance of an equipment, process, resources, and so on and so forth. It will give you an alarm bell well in advance if anything bad is to happen around there. So check sheets, this is definite advantages of having them or them. So let us talk about the five categories. Remember, one, two, three, four, and five categories and tools that we'll be discussing in the subsequent sheet. Let us start with the tools. Look, what are the tools that we're looking into it? We are looking at collecting data, we are looking at understanding data and the processes, thereby analyzing the process and solving the problem if any. Now please understand, these are the five steps that comes around it. The quality tools, we need to collect data as on when on generated, it's on a real time basis, then sit down, analyze what is happening with the data. I need to understand what is going wrong. If there are any anomalies, we need to rectify the process. We need to understand it and solve the issue before it arises. So basically what I'm trying to tell it to you, be proactive. Then coming to the check sheets, the steps and the involves, there are only four methods that comes around it as been mentioned in my figure. There are four check sheets, four involvements, and that needs to follow. What are they? So define the event, if possible define the data, then decide on the questions of who, what, when, where, how, and why. And this will easily point out your problems areas, or anybody whose lacuna is it, whose fault is it. So this accordingly we can have a check sheet design based upon these four steps to collect data, right? So we need to define the data, we can define the event, we need to put the responsibility onto our process, onto an individual, onto the faulty resources, onto the faulty equipment, who what, when, where, how and why is what goes around it. And if we have these answers, these questions to be answered, we can design a check sheet very easily and thereby data altogether. Here comes the examples of check sheets, and believe me, I have collated a number of check sheet which can goes around it, right from Toyota to any of a paint job that can be going around it. If you remember, this can be of an housekeeping event, whether you are cleaning your washrooms or not, the windows, the lights, what are the pilferages going around it. So basically I'm giving you an example of check sheet. Subsequent examples will be there in this particular presentation. Remember, you need to design a check sheet as per your requirement, as per your convenience, as it is required. And every untoward accident or incident that happens in your premises will always entangle one more check sheet, one more parameter that needs to be incorporated in your check sheet, so that in future such untoward incidents are not repeated, absolutely not repeated. So that is the reason why I'm giving you examples out here. Remember, not all examples are sacrosanct, not all examples can be applicable to every arena, every field, and it needs to be suited as per the requirement of the business. The simplest of all check sheets is like this. It is absolutely given told, wherein there are lists that needs to be formatted out here, which needs to be taken care for, and checks has to be entangled. Now this will tell me the strength and the weaknesses which goes around it. So even in the shift, if a manager wants to see what is going right, what is going wrong, he might be informed, well informed, once he has goes through the glance of a check sheet what's to be done. Also it is known as the collection sheet for data. Remember, the green material that needs to be taken care for, we come up to it. So let us understand the types of check sheet. One is a failure proof check sheet. You need to understand what is going wrong at any of these steps as such. Then we have the visual check sheet, which can be utilized with the help of a pictures, process, or probably a video which can be recorded. Utilizing these visual check sheets, something might be going. It helps in housekeeping events. You know, if things are not being tightly kept of all housekeeping evidences, we need to have such check sheet. Then comes the traveler check sheet, a check sheet that keeps the product, the price, the process, everything collated at any point of time. This is what we are looking into it. We need to understand this check sheet as often as possible. So that is what we are looking at. We will be looking at all the collections of the data that has been collated, and probably what is the lead time between the data recording and data analyzing. That's the lead time we need to probably squeeze out. So how to construct? The big question comes around it as to how to construct a check sheet altogether. First and foremost, you need to understand what are the data that you are looking to get self incorporated. What are the data sets that you want to put across, what impacts your business processes, determine the time period to record such data. Now this is very true. The quicker the data is recorded and the quicker it has been analyzed, it is better informed and you can take a much informed decision. So simply just collecting data won't matter. You need to understand that those data should make some sort of sense. Then only it can go across with it. So leave the space as allows it all together. Add columns to the other data as in value added effect, as in delay, as in other attributes that can be incorporated in the process altogether. It can be work in process, it can be timing, timestamped, and so on and so forth. Pilot test the check sheets all together, make changes as and when needed. We are looking at it. So this is what is a check sheet is all about. I'll give you a tips. First, immediately first get a team and to collate data pulling ideas. One thing, be open, be responsive, be flexible. Try it first and have a pilot survey altogether with your check sheet. Do you think it is working or not? If things have not been working, incorporate more data. If things have been on a smoother function, try it on a shorter span of time, let's say a week, a month, and so on and so forth, and see how it has been impacting upon the operations of the production process altogether, and thereby encourage recording of the contextual data altogether. This needs to be understood time and again, which will go going. So let us understand the tally charts. Now this is the most easily defected or replicated in data sheets or check sheet that we come around it, is basically the frequency the people are looking into it. Let's say we have a frequency where there is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We can cross it. The number of crosses will tell it to me how many things have been in a proper place, on which all days, who are the person who have taken it, or what are the PPE kit they are wearing, and so on and so forth. So it's an easy and helpful way to track, possibly record events. The information is very quickly understood and it percolates to be displayed all together in a group of 5. It captures the customer calls, it captures the different machine, it captures the vital statistic or overall health of the environment altogether. About it, this is the Japanese checklist of having the housekeeping version comes around it, and the only thing that about, let's say having a traveler checklist, what are the order taking, what are the lead time, how do you respond, what were the issues, and this is what will tell me out there, and try to add finish to the process. That is what we are looking into it, adding finish to the process, ensuring that things are going in a perfect tandem as on when on basis. Is that is what we are looking out here. Thereby what is the example that comes with it, is to be prompt with all your checklists. Now checklist what I've given you as an example are just for your references. Design your own checklist based on the requirement, based on the type of incident that might happen or probability of happening or must have happened in your history or previously, and how to prevent about it. Remember, checklist sheets are one of the best methodology to be proactive towards your any sort of incident. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.